Hello Capricorn, kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome to my YouTube channel and or my Facebook page if you've come across this video on Facebook. So as always, I'm going to say to you that just to remind you, or rather that these videos, the readings, the messages that come through on here are general, so they may or may not resonate with you. If they do, that's wonderful. If they don't, or parts of it don't, just put it aside. I do encourage checking out what your other signs are and what they say for you, because it can give you more of a fuller read for you, or an understanding what can be going on for you this month, and fill in any gaps that you're not quite sure of that are coming up in this reading, or are not coming up in this reading. So this is, like I say, for Capricorn. So it may be Capricorn, maybe in your sun, moon, rising, and or Venus sign for you. So yeah, check it out. Check out what your other signs are saying as well. So anyhow, let me see. There may be a little bit of toing and froing with some of yous, and a little bit of ums and ahs as well. That is coming up for you at the moment, or even in the last few months. So where are they going with that? So anyway, I'm just going to go see where the cards are going to take us. So actually, yep, okay, I know where we're going with that. So there is something going on, like following a regime or a regime or a protocol, and maybe you've been having to been stuck in, or time has been. There's been like a hold off period or a holding period where there's some decisions or something that are needing to be made, and it's like, so the process, there may be a few process or a process that's going on that's just like been taking its time, and like it's like whoa, but in that time it's like Spirit is saying there have been other things that are being done, or you could be doing or could have done, and I feel like in the meantime, if they're not finished, I get the feeling and that thinking and that feeling that around by the end of the month, there will be a few things that will be like tidied up, sorted out. So you can actually cross that T and dot that I, sign that off, and then file that and leave it there. And without anything else having to be done to it, in the sense of like, what I'm hearing is like some of you, the feeling might be feeling, there may be a feeling with some things that are around you, or that's been happening, or going backwards, but there is something there, and it's like, okay, now we're just going to get that sorted out, and now we can move forward with whatever it is that's going on. So some of you, I am hearing like court case or court cases. Some of you, I'm hearing like jobs. There may be some sort of job that you are moving out of and moving into a new one. So, and could be some sort of documents like that. Others of you, I'm hearing like moving home. So whether that's renting or purchasing a new home, or developing, okay, there's something about developing something new. So there may be an agreement. So there may be something like developing a business loan, or developing in your business where you're trying to set up something and something hasn't quite come to fruition yet with that, and or some clues in that, and there's some sort of finalizing going on anyway. And there may be still, and it may have been a little bit long and drawn out for some of you, depending on what that is. For you. So anyway, I'm going to do a mind, body, spirit, soul sort of a flow today, and we'll see what goes on. I'm just going to use these cards first. They're showing me a different way today, or a different flow today, and all the cards coming out here. Okay, Inventor, so the Man of Crystals. What have we got here? And then we have the Empress in the physical side here. And then we have the Nine of Wands, okay, and then we have the Priestess over here that's come through, but we also have the Three of Crystals. So there's something there. I'm just going to pop that over here. Where am I going to pop that? Actually, it doesn't feel right. I'm going to pop that up the top. So Three of Crystals, creativity. I feel like that's these are like this first row here is like the, what are they calling it? Oh gosh, I've completely forgotten now. The overall energy, but I'm feeling like the Three of Crystals, by the look of it, is the overall, energy, because it's up above everything else, because that's where I want to, where I'm wanting to put it. So what I'm getting from that is that may be like overall, in the sense, overall over the overall cards. Gosh, that's been really interesting. That these the Three of Crystals, because it talks about creativity, and it talks about something, and it's also, you know, the crystals in this deck is, you know, as the swords in other decks. So there can be, you know, there's something like moving or forming or coming together where the idea and or the thought is, you know, with the ace, and then something's more is starting to like form in the with the 2, but the 3 is like there's like more of a clue, you could say, with how they're expressing it. So where there is like there's that suggestion that I think of being creative about the way that you are dealing with something or expressing yourself, or you know, with something. It's bringing that creativity out, and there may be that's something that is coming to you that is like pushing you to think or think more so and see outside of the box, okay, or outside of the square. So then we have here, oh, it's okay, I'll hold that up, the 3 of crystals there. And then we have the Man of Crystals here, which is the King of Swords, okay? So in the mind, so he's in control of his mind generally, and he can be quite, you know, cutting with his words. When I say cutting, I'm not, okay, I don't normally say cutting with his words with him. It's normally, but he's in control. I feel like what he communicates well and is concise. So he could come across quite cutting and quite to the point, okay? So in a sense, but this is about communicating well, okay? And he's in control of his thoughts, in control of his mind. There is also in this card here, they talk about, you know, the inventor in here. So there are a lot of things that are running around in his mind, you know, in your mind. It could be that there are that like inventions, ideas and thoughts and that, but you maybe have not actually put them into action. So it's no good just sitting in your mind, because nothing's going to happen. You know, it's not going to work. Nothing's going to change if you're not going to actually take action with it. So, but he's taking more, I'm feeling like he's bringing that energy in for you, Capricorn, because it's like there's something about taking that physical, making that physical movement, and, you know, being grounded in yourself, and, you know, making something, and towards making something happen, okay? So here on the physical, you know, note here, on the body is like the Empress. So there's something shifting, something moving, where there's some sort of, you know, physical movement. It's number 3 in the Major Arcana in this, you know, in here. In the section of the Major Arcana in the deck. So it's like, you know what, there's something, you know, moving. It's like, what I'm hearing is like, you know what, let's just get cracking and let's just go and do something, you know, to shift the energy within my body. When the energy shifts within my body, the energy shifts within my mind, and I can breathe and blah blah blah. And it takes we begin to take a whole new look at things, or perspective in our movements and the way that we move. Okay, so there's something about movement in there, new beginnings, and, you know, something being born, but being born there, or the possibility of, because she's talks about, you know, growth and success and that sort of thing, but, you know, it's not going to happen if we're just going to, you know, sit around and do nothing about it and go blah blah blah. Okay, that one's there. I want to take that one because it's sticking right out. And then we have the priest and the 9 of Wands on the spiritual level. It talks about integrity. So what I'm hearing there with that, with the 9 of Wands, is something has come to an end. It's like you've figured something out, or something will come to an end, but you've got to like allow yourself to, you know, get through the mind stuff, or, you know, be in control. I'm hearing that more, and not getting into drama, other people's drama, even in your own drama. But this is about being in your doing of your own right mind, basically, clear mind. But in some, you know, there's that, and it's, you know, what am I doing? So there's something here with integrity here with the 9 of Wands. There may be someone who is a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo sign that's in your life that may be coming. There may be something coming to an end with them, is what I'm hearing with this card. But there's that sense of integrity as well with that. But there also, maybe there is something coming to end with something physical, I'm hearing as well. It's about the movements that you've taken, or the actions that you've taken recently. And there's an element of integrity to it. I'm feeling the thinking and the thought that's come through is, you know, to do with honesty with yourself, but also integrity and doing the right thing for somebody else as well. It's like, I'm taking my space, I'm making my space, and I'm doing this for myself, but as well as for others, and it clears the way for a pathway for the mind, the body, the spirit, and the soul to become be more consciously aware, but also clear of conscience at the same time. Wow, there was a lot there going on in there. That's quite deep. Then we're moving into the priestess here, so in the soul level. So she's bringing through that, that energy of intuition, and connecting with yourself on a higher level, in the higher vibrational level, but listening to your intuition, because you're not, there, what I'm hearing is like some of you may have parked it up and you may have been like really, really too grounded in some ways, and not listening to it. So there's something there, and I'm hearing this is maybe to do with a lot of you around relationships as well, but your relationship with yourself is the key here, with intuition, with our intuition. It's like when we are really like clear on who we are and who we're about, and we're listening to ourselves and we're taking action with ourselves, and doing things like that, your intuition can become a lot clearer, and then when we're like actually taking action on it, we're starting to discern more so is that that my intuition rather than just a thought, and when I say just a thought, so sometimes those, when I say that, thoughts are quite important as well, but some of those thoughts where I'm alluding to with just a thought is thoughts that serve you no purpose for your highest good, just to clarify that. Because now we're moving into, with that overall energy there. And so there is the Six of Wands here, which is maybe in your current energy. Some of you, I feel like this may be your current energy here, but this may be for some of you. So it's kind of blending in a way. So the Six of Wands is in reverse. So there's some sort of, trust there that you may be like, maybe you're not trusting yourself. Maybe you're not trusting somebody else. But the Six of Wands can also mean like with some movements in your life can be like, in this deck it talks about, trust, which has not really come up before, but there's something about, where they talking about, there's something about like when I'm looking at this card, there's putting things or pieces together or bringing things or pieces together, but there's something about pulling things apart as well. So there may be something, a mistrust there. I'm going to turn it around. So, to shift the energy there. And there may be things that are like pulling you apart, or you're pulling something apart to try and figure out where, or what, or when, or who is going on, is going to be doing this or doing that. So, but there's something coming up that maybe that you don't trust something or someone or a process in some way. Somehow with the Two of Wands there is like there's a sense of purity there that's coming through with this card. So it's coming through was looking through the lens, or looking through the window pane is, with a sense of purity, of love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, adventure, prosperity and abundance. It's like in taking that steps, it's like what is your intention is where they're going with that one. So but yeah, which is really interesting, because then we have the Eight of Wands, and that's in reverse as well. So there's something about the Eight of Wands here, and it's harmony. The Eight of Wands is typically, for me, is a now card. It's taking action now. So maybe there is something that you are not taking action with at the moment. So because of this mistrust or this trust. So it's like, and because then we have the Five of Cups has got disappointment, which is pretty, the five, in the soul level here. So there may be, there is a disappointment that you feel or sense is coming. For some of yous, and and with this lack of trust is there, and they are talking about listening to your intuition. So there may be a sense of disappointment coming up there, and it may not necessarily, what I'm hearing, some of it is maybe not necessarily your stuff, but you may be disappointed for somebody else, on saying that. So, but it's like, I feel like some of this inaction and this harmony is like, it's may have created a bit of disharmony. However, I feel like things are turning around, because there with this disappointment, I don't feel like it's not necessarily all of yours, but it may be disappointment in the sense that you're feeling disappointed for somebody else, as well as for some of you it will definitely be your disappointment. or disappointed with something that's going on around you. And the outcome that may come up, but I'm hearing for some of you it's like shifting that view about it as well, and not taking that not taking it to heart, basically, with this Five of Cups, because this is about, like I'm hearing and feeling is like the Cups is about relationships as well, and building that in a relationship with ourselves. So it may be that you've disappointed yourself as well. So depending on where that is for you, and it's like, so I'm hearing is, what I'm hearing either way is like shifting the perspective around that disappointment, so you're not actually taking it into your heart, okay? And then we have here, I'm just going to carry on, because then we have here the Ace of Crystals, okay? So that's the Ace of Swords here. So it's like there's some sort of brilliance that comes out of it, or a light or an energy, or there's something new, an idea or a thought that comes out of it. So whatever it is, it's like, something is definitely coming to an end. And on a soul level, you may be feeling this disappointment coming, but it's like, but but I'm getting this feeling, it's like, that even though there is that disappointment, I'm not going to let it falter me or hold me off, or scatter me, or throw me off my direction, or throw me off my train of thought, or throw me off what is good about this. Basically, it's like turning it into something good, because it's like, it's like this, which is why I say it's maybe not necessarily fully yours, but there's something about that. But I'm turning it around, because as I've turned around these cards, it's like the energy is shifted. So it's like, what I'm hearing is like, if you turn that around, the energy will shift. So the Ace of Crystals has come out, and it's talking about this brilliance, this new idea, this new, different way of thinking, because you're being more in your power, because you've shifted something around, okay? You've seen like the shit through the clay, basically, and it's just shit or rubbish or drama or something like that, and it's not yours. So, and yep, at least you've got an outcome, or you've seen an outcome, if it is a disappointing outcome for you. Not for all of you as it will be, but depending on how you're looking at that. It's like, yep, okay, just carrying on, moving on. So, but I do feel like there's something actually good that is going to come out of that disappointment, this card, for some reason. Because this Ace of Crystals comes up, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm just ready to go again. My mind is clear, and there's, and I'm just hearing brilliance, and I'm hearing brilliance of light, brilliance of mind, brilliance of thought, all those brilliance of power, because you've been in this power of communication. So there's something about communicating through here as well, but also taking action. Okay, then the Woman of Worlds, the Preserver. So with this card here, in this deck, it talks about the female, the Queen of Pentacles, being a preserver of nature, a preserver of life, a preserver of, I'm hearing like I want to be more drawn to family, and family oriented is what the Pentacles is about for me, or the coins is not necessarily only about the financial side of things, but there's a preserver of, living and learning about things. And I'm just noticing there's the pregnant woman in there again. It's like the preserver, because it's like of new things coming into light, of new things, the birth of a baby, the birth of a new idea, which is like with this Ace of Crystals. So the Queen of Pentacles, she is like the King of Pentacles, of course, and in the sense that she is a hard worker. She is, and this is you, I feel, Capricorn, even if you're a male energy, but you're centered and you're grounded. So this is about you going into that place and preserving your own dignity, basically, is where I'm hearing from this, in that sense. And it's like you're seeing things from a different point of view, or a new or a different way of thinking about things. And it's like, but I'm hearing also it starts to open up a shift in the financial side of things, a shift in the way the balances with family matters and things like that, but also a shift in your energy, and also therefore a shift in your health, okay? Then we have the Child of Crystals here, and which is the Page of Wands in this deck, who is the learner. The learner who brings new learning, new energy, new on a spiritual level. So I feel like there's for you, you know, the Child of Crystals has come through because there's a whole lot of new things that are coming through. Like with the Ace of Crystals, it's like you're going through this phase, but then the Child of Crystals brings through oh no, this is the Knight, sorry, the Knight of Crystals. So things can be happening quite quickly, with this, you know, a new learning comes through quite quickly. It's kind of what I'm hearing. I'm just going to shuffle a card and see what comes out. Okay, that's 2. I just want 1, Spirit. See what comes through for Capricorn. Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay, stagnation. Yeah, okay, the 8 of Cups. So there could be, yeah, I feel like there's something about, you know, being in that space, the learner. And it could be that you're learning, because this is about stagnation on a soul level. I will start to begin to understand and learn how and why there was stagnation in the last, I don't know, 10 years, 6 years, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years for some of you, depending on what is going on. And it's like there's a lot of emotions that is caught up in this. So I do feel like when you're on the soul level, that there's, with this learning, you start to realize that, and you know, there's more healing in that, in this, and then you start to realize that, and it's like, okay, I'm ready to release that and let that go. So there may have been some stagnation on an emotional level that has been actually holding some of you back from, you know, or slowing things down more than what it need to be. But however, it's a journey, and you've got there now. So it's like, I do feel on a soul level that this stagnation is like, you're seeing more about what that is, and what that was about, what that is about. And so it's like something is definitely shifting for you, because with this Child of Crystals, like I say, with the learning there, he brings through a whole new learning for you, Capricorn. And it's like, yay. But it's like, and it may mean some, you know, like going like in deep stuff with you and looking at yourself and pulling some things out and dissecting and that, but it's all a movement and for the greater good. So this is about, you know, being creative. Once again, going back to this creative, you know, bringing that creativity side of you, that creative side of you, in the way that you're thinking, being, doing things. Okay, because he's the Man of Crystals. He's grounded, he's centered. This is like your grounded, centered. Well, he probably needs to be grounded and centered, but I'm saying that the Man of Crystals, he knows who he is, he knows how he's thinking, and allowing, you know, this new beginning, you know, this fertility to build something new from the ground up, basically. And then we have the 9 of Wands, and allowing, you know, things to, you know, things that something's coming to an end and moving into a new beginning of some way or form. But it's like you're in your power. This is about integrity again. Integrity in how you're thinking, being, doing things, and you're moving forward. The Priestess on a soul level, listening to your intuition. It's kind of, there's something moving back here, moving and shifting down this way. Because I'm just looking at the Priestess here, you know, it's tuning into what that disappointment is really about. And then here the 8 of Cups is like shifting, and you know that your intuition is sending you something, you know, more clues as to what that was about, that stagnation is about, was about, and releasing that, because it's, you know, I'm just like Priestess underneath that. That's too uncanny, because the intuition, you know, 5 Cups is all about intuition. They're very intuitive. They're very sensitive to that side of them, you know, well, most of them anyway, that I know of. So there's that sort of, but yeah, something's different. You're leaving something behind, even though there is this emotion. It's like you're still walking forward, not letting it hold you back. It's like you're turning your back on something, but in a loving way, okay? Because you understand it. Anyway, the 2 of Wands comes through again, and so there's something here about like, I'm like setting a fire, getting started, moving something, getting something moving. I'm hearing like setting fire to something, in the sense like setting yourself on fire with this, and you know, taking that idea, or taking those thoughts, and you know, or that next step of action, what it is that you need to take. And it's like, this is about what I'm hearing is like setting a new course, basically. looking out and setting the new course. Then we have the world, because literally the world, I know it's a little bit cliche-ish, but literally the world is your oyster. So the world is there. So there's something that's coming to an end with the world as well, because the world is like pretty much, you know, the last card in the deck in this major arcana anyway. And then we have strength. It's going to take a little bit of strength, but you've got strength and you've got courage. So in doing that, okay. So I feel like this Two of Wands here is actually, when they're talking, it's like building on something new or building on what is the next step. But the two for me is like, you know, generally to do about relationships and how we build on them, work with them, our relationship with ourselves as well. So there may be, or a partnership. So there's something maybe coming together where you're building on creating a beautiful partnership or relationship with yourself, that understanding, with maybe a new relationship. It could be like a brand new relationship, could be friend, lover, whatever that is, romantic. It could be something to do with a member of the family. It could be a friend or whatever, forming new relationships, or beginning or forming a new relationship within a relationship, you know, mending bridges or something like that. But it's like then your world starts to open up, you know, and with all that strength and that courage on the spiritual side, there's spirit there that are there to help you as well. And then the Nine of Wands, okay, there is, you know, something, once again, that's like, I'm hearing burnt bridges, you know, that sort of thing, that you're able to move on from that, but knowing that actually, you know, I've created boundaries with that stuff, or I'm leaving that stuff behind, but I'm taking my stuff and I'm moving forward. There may have been a little bit of a battle, but going on there, but hey, you've got through it, okay? So there may be something coming up like that with whatever it is, so aspect in your life that is about. Something is, you know, there's something that's coming to an end, okay? Awesome. Anyway, I'm going to leave that with you now, Capricorn. So we'll see you next month, and well, actually probably next week, but with next month's reading for you for the month of April 2021. So anyway, we'll leave that with you with lots of love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, adventure, prosperity and abundance. Okay, until then.